Welcome, everybody. Happy to have you. Yeah, today we're going to talk about just a few subtopics I got here for you. So looking at some, new workflows, or maybe new to you, maybe some that have been around for you, but, haven't been using. And so give you a good refresher and hopefully show you some new stuff on a few of these things. But, we'll go in first on, setting up your existing conditions, your profile, your existing type files, using some of the RealityCapture, workflows and InfraWorks tools that we have built in natively into the software suite. And also getting into just some streamlining and automating a few different tasks with our plan in production and just optimizing Civil 3D, just so we are avoiding unnecessary steps in the workflow and just speed up some things, help with the productivity. We'll talk about Clarity for Civil 3D and that automation process as well. It's a pretty cool tool that we have here at IMAGINiT, and so we'll dive into that and show you some of the cool things that can do, not only to automate the process and help you with the picks and clicks and the time on that, but also, just outsourcing that computing power when, publishing and e-transmitting and those kind of things, like putting that over on the Clarity servers. And so looking at what that looks like is pretty cool. And then we'll talk real quick, just do a quick overview on the digital forms tool. IMAGINiT Forms Connected, so very cool stuff. So we'll touch base on that as well. All right, a little bit about me. My name is Alan Bliss. Yes, and I'm an applications expert here at IMAGINiT. And so I've been in the civil engineering industry and land surveying and all of those closely related fields, environmental, geotech, that kind of thing over the last couple of decades. Worked, right away out of high school as a drafter and worked my way through college and all of that, and worked up into some design roles and eventually into CAD and GIS manager roles at both some small and large firms around San Diego and Southern California area. And then in the last few years, I found myself here in the Autodesk Partner Channel, and it's been really nice. I love teaching and helping with the workflows and that kind of consulting stuff, doing the custom builds on templates and buttons and things like that. So that's a little bit about my background and what I am bringing to our session here today. All right, so let's look at some of those existing conditions things that I have to talk about to make existing conditions files. All right, so our first one, I wanted to talk about what we can do just to take that raw point cloud data and attach that into our drawing. So I was going to show you that real quick. So we have a point cloud attach workflow right there on our insert ribbon, and hit that. I got one here ready to go, a point cloud from a RealityCapture scan. So your recap software can process that, but this is just a scan from a drone flight showing all of these points. So RealityCapture tools, and just like that, we can attach that point cloud here into our drawing file. All right. You can manage these attached point clouds just like you would any XREF. So you just go right in there into your XREF panel, and they're right there. They're ready to load, unload, and use all of your normal tools just like that. But what's really cool and slick is that we can make a surface from the point cloud just right away. So you can just you can do the whole thing. It might be a lot of data, or we can select a little area. I'm gonna do this little area right here, and it's gonna make us a surface, 3D surface, sampled out of those points from the point cloud. All right, I'm gonna hit that and let that run. What's really cool in your efficiencies is you can let this run in the background. It's gonna take it a while. It's got a huge point cloud piece of data, and so it's gonna run that in the background, and we can keep working. So we'll keep working while we do that. All right, I also wanted to show you guys taking an InfraWorks and going into InfraWorks and using our model builder to go to an area. I got an area I like to use for my practice site. See if I can zoom in here and find it. There we go. So you just zoom in. This is in Oceanside, California, San Diego area. And you can zoom in on anywhere you want. And as you can see, you can keep zooming in. You can find anything that you want anywhere. All right. Hopefully I didn't lose my spot again doing that zoom out. Here we go. Here we go. There it is. Okay. And then you can tell it do the extents of that area, or you can select a little drawing rectangle. I'm going to draw a rectangle around. Oh, I don't like that rectangle. Do better than that. I might draw it again. Let's see if I can snap out of that. The pan and there we go. The buttons change, you know, so it's different than when you're in InfraWorks and then when you're in Civil 3D. So I'm pressing left click or right click or scroll wheel trying to pan, and it's always the one you didn't click. All right. So let's say I'm going to do that area right there. I can select my coordinate system, which is really good. There's my local coordinate system, California State Plains Zone 6. NAD 83. We'll hit OK. That should update. Boom, there it goes. And I put a little model name right next to it. And then I hit create model. This works in the background as well. And what this will do is take in our terrain data as well as any road data that it has there for all of those roads. And it'll build it into the 3D model for us. And we can take that data and pull it over to Civil 3D here in just a second. So it just said it's going to work on that. It works in the background. It takes like 5 or 10 minutes or so before it will come live, and it'll send you an email. It has your email from your Autodesk credentials, so it'll send an email to that email address that's associated with your Autodesk account. I did another one earlier this morning, so we didn't have to wait. Kind of like the cooking shows. You put it in the top oven with all raw, and then you pull it out of the bottom oven, and it's been cooking for the last 45 minutes. And it is perfect and ready to go. All right. So we'll take a look here. This is what comes out of the oven on the other end. So it's got that satellite imagery of that area. And then we've got terrain in 3 dimensions. As you can see there, you can see the hills and everything. And all of this for free, or not for free, but yeah, it's accessing a open roads source. And so no additional cost, no additional plugins or anything. All of this is in your native Civil 3D and InfraWorks subscription. You're able to run all this. It'll also pull the road data. Look at that. Boom. You got an alignment, a corridor, and everything all the way built for these existing roads that it pulled in. All right. We can take these roads, and if we pull them in with the way that they are right now, they will come in as a surface, a road surface, and an alignment. And we can make them come in also as a corridor if you right-click on them and convert them to a component road. That'll make it come in as a corridor, a 3D corridor, with the assembly and the profile and everything over in Civil 3D. So I'll do that on a few of them. We'll export them to an IMX. All right. Let's change that one to number 3. I've done a couple already today. Let's put that one there, number 3. And we'll hit export. We had our coordinate system and everything in that data. All right, and we'll come over to Civil. All right. I've got a file ready to go here. Give me 1 second. Put that on my other monitor. There we go. It's coming. It's coming. Here we go. All right. So I got a little base file set up with that area, with the coordinate system and everything, kind of my project boundary. That's it. No other real data here in this one. And I can open my InfraWorks model right here on my Insert tab. And we can go find that sucker that we just made. All right, coordinate systems are good. Everything looks good. You can always refine what you're bringing in. If it's too much, you can take it down. It's going to do a select all by default. But look, it'll grab those component roads that I converted to component roads. It's going to bring those in as a corridor. Pretty cool. Check this out when this comes over to Civil 3D. You're going to have civil 3D corridors, civil 3D surfaces, everything ready to go. And not a bad first stab at an existing conditions drawing. Look at that. You got a surface now. It's not going to replace your field survey, you know, your photogrammetry, your drone flight, whatever you're doing, you know, to get that detailed survey. Like this is coming from Open Roads, your USGS, you know, your open source places. But I mean, pretty cool. 3D corridor ready to go. Just with those first few clicks in a few minutes, you got a whole site, existing conditions ready to go. Yeah, check out that. That's outside the limits. That's why it's not showing the rest of it there. But yeah, I mean, pretty cool. I've got there we go. Every one of these object viewers and InfraWorks and then civil, it's like the opposite mouse control. So I'm flying all over the place. So sorry about that. But you got that 3D corridor done and ready and in there. Pretty cool. So not a bad start. You can also see that you have in your prospector now, you got surfaces that came in. You got alignments that came in. You can look in the side of some of those alignments, which are the ones that we made into component roads, and see it did a design profile. You got the corridor. You've got the assemblies for that corridor. Everything came in. So really good start for your existing conditions. Let's see if the point cloud is done and made its surface. Which one are you? Point cloud's still working. Point cloud's still chewing on it. We'll let it keep chewing. We'll circle back in a few more minutes. We got some other stuff to show you. So the InfraWorks stuff, really cool to bring in the terrain, surfaces, and those existing roads. So it's just like, why are we not using that InfraWorks stuff? You know, because we forget, because we're busy. I don't know, because no one ever made us. But really cool stuff to get the project started. And if you just need some rough data, I mean, that could just be all you used right there. So really cool. I want to talk to you guys about a cool little way we can use a template, the template file, to build the surface for us in an automated fashion. It's really cool. Let me get my template that I have loaded with the surface and a point group already, ready to go. Right, this guy. All right, I'm going to load that template. All right, here it is. Here's my new drawing with that template. And what this template has that I'm going to be taking advantage of, it has a point group already done in it, and it has a surface already done. And that surface definition, it's got the point group all ready to go. All right, so I can just, at this point, if I'm using my template here, it's already got my coordinate system for my local jobs already set up. It's already got the point groups all done. It's already got the surface all done. And so I can just go into my point file. Let me load one up real quick. I got this ground shots point file. Load that up. And hit OK. Oh, there they are. So there's those points. They're behind my little note. Let me delete that note. Get a better view of my points. They're coming in red here. Might be hard to see, but we got the black and the red there. Those are all my points. All right. Now, the only part that you have to, if you leave the drawing and came back in, it would update, but those point groups, they need to be refreshed. So like you can see it's giving you an alert right here. You know, on surfaces, we have that rebuild automatic. On point groups, we don't. So we got to right click in there and hit update manually right there. But once you update it, all those new points that just got imported get shoved into that point group and the surface automatically creates. Look at that. So if you're using a template that's set up this way, your surface will just create automatically. All you got to do is bring in that point group file. And I can show you what that file looked like. It's a very simple file. So if you got any kind of ground shots from the field, if you got any kind of drone flight, you know, this is just a real simple text file, that ground shots file, point number, northing, easting, elevation, and a description. All the descriptions are the same. It's just GS ground shot. And so just that simple point file of all your points, and then you quickly got a surface, and then you're saving your drafters, designers on your team all that time, building out the surface, building out the point groups, all of that. You fully automated and standardized that process. So it's a good best practice to add into your tool belt. All right. We're going to pop in on next on some of this automated plan production. I have some fun stuff for you guys. Okay, give me 2 seconds. I am pulling up my cool files for all of that. Is that it? It's not it. Sorry, I have it in 2 spots. 3 spots, maybe. And we are coming right now. Planes. Right, plan production. Here we are. Oh, get my Civil 3D back up. So this is a game changer, the plan production, automating the plan production process. We have it built into Civil 3D, workflows, and it's all template driven based off your title block template. But we have workflows that will automate and come in and cut these sheets for you. So they'll cut the sheets, follow an alignment, and they'll make plan and profile sheets for you. So I already got thrown on here. In this one, the view frames. Let me go back a work step. And we will throw some of those frames on as well. And so just that process of setting a viewport in a drawing for the plan and the profile, you know, panning, rotating that viewport, you know, changing the UCS, panning it over zoom, getting it all set up for both the plan and the profile and the sheet. It's very time consuming. And we can take a roadway, no matter how long, and we can get this whole process done in just a few minutes. You know, once you're good at and quick at it, you know, 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes while you're learning it. And I mean, it could be miles of road. You could be doing a big highway expansion and you can run the whole thing and recut those sheets in just a few minutes. So huge game changer, something that would have taken weeks of labor before, if you haven't been using this workflow, down to a few minutes. It's really neat. All right, we can go to our output. You got these view frames, create view frames. Those are a Civil 3D object themselves. You put it on which alignment you're traveling along. You can do plan sheets too. So you can modify this workflow for kind of your grading plans or, you know, things like that. You can make dummy alignments or follow a map book. There's some other tricks we can do. But we got plan and profile. That's what we're doing, street improvement type plans. I gotta set my scale first. I saw that scale question and I forgot to set it before we started. There we go. Make sure I set all my scale and everything correct. We're gonna pop back in. There we go, select your alignment. All right, it's coming in off of a template. So once you load that template, and this is just one with all of my plan profile sheets ready to go on a template. And then it's got different sizes of paper and different scales ready to go. I can hit that. You can run them and set them to all have the rotation going to north, or they'll rotate automatically along the alignment and it'll automatically put in your north arrow already pre-aligned. It saves you a lot of work too. Keep going. All right, keep going. And let's take a look. And here we go. We got all of our view frames, all of those viewports preset with the match lines all done, fully automated. So that's about half the work that you would go through. And it's all done. You can make any kind of modifications you want, rotating them, sliding them up and down. If they didn't fit quite how you anticipated, you can do all of that kind of work. And you got those match lines there as well. If you need to move them, you know, those fully move and will go wherever you need them. So really cool automated process here. Let's pop in over here and let's have it actually cut the sheets for us. So that's where all the viewports are going to be on the plan view of all of these sheets that it's going to make. You go to the next piece here, create sheets. All right. You can tell it to put all of those layouts, depending on how your office does it, put all of the layouts in a new drawing. do one layout per drawing, put all the layouts in the current drawing. You can tell it to do it however you want. I'm gonna put new name on here because I've made this quite a few times. That way I know which sheet set I'm working with. There we go. All right. I've got a style for my profiles with the 5-time exaggeration. I'm going to throw that style on real quick. That's it. That's all I have to do in here. But you got your whole profile wizard that you can go through in there. You can align these on the sheet where they align in the middle, at the start, or at the end. Really cool. Then you hit create sheets when you're done. Tells you it's going to save your drawing. And then it asks you where you want to place all of these new profiles for the sheets. It's got to have some model space spot where it can do that. And then it goes choop, 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 and it makes all of your layouts, makes all of your plan and profiles ready to go. And it also makes you a sheet set with all of it. Let's take a look. Here's the sheet set it made. I mean, total game changer. How much time is saved here? Let's see if I can scoot this over. There we go. Give myself some more real estate. There we go. And as you go from sheet to sheet, it cut all of these plan and profile. And so if you have any kind of revisions that you need done, no need to sweat like, oh, you know, it didn't get this, didn't get that right, or whatever. You can redo this whole workflow in a few minutes. Like, oh, we didn't leave enough time for, we didn't even leave enough space for pipes underground or something like that. You can go back and modify it, recut all of the sheets in just a couple minutes. So it's really cool. It cuts all of the profile sheets for you and throws them in model space so that way it connects them on the viewport. These are all dynamically linked and connected back to the original profile. You click on it there, it's going to click on it throughout all of those profile cut sheets as well as do it here in the master profile. So game changer and efficiency and getting all of those things done. If you're doing it the manual way, going in, making a new layout, like zooming in here, activating this, you know, unlocking it, panning over, setting a new match line, it's just so much work. You're giving yourself days of work, hours of work if it's a small job, up to weeks of work, you know, if it's a big highway widening. And either way, no matter how small or big, it's going to get the whole job done in just a couple minutes. Huge. You can also do your section sheets. Take a look at that. Take a look at that real quick. Let me throw that on here. You can throw together your cross-section sheets. I made a few cross-section views right here and ran this. Looks like I saved it. Saved my practice file, but that's all right. I'll run it again just so you see how it works, how simple it is. You just make your new views. And it'll run on your sample line collection, along your alignment. It runs off of a template for your production, so it knows the size and space of your template. We'll run that. All default. I'm going to take down the swath on each side just so I can fit a few more cross sections per sheet. Let's see if that helps. You can run some tables at the end. So if you got some volume tables, material tables, you can run those as well. Let's see, I think we'll go with that one. I think that's the one I like. That's what I like. That's what I like. All right, here we go. Let's give it a try. See how these ones turn out. All right. So here's the space for that template where it has the title block and the viewport and everything. And it drops those sections in every 50 feet, you know, following my road over here with all of my sample lines running through. And so every 50 feet, every 50-foot station, it's got a new sample and a cross section. It's showing the cut and fill. As it goes by, you can see the color change for cut and fill. And it's got a cool little table right here with the cut fill area and the cumulative and net volumes as it's going. So it's got some quantity takeoff data. And you can put in material data tables as well for all the different types of pavement and things like that. All of that can be automated into the process as well too. All right, we can create our section sheets real quick, and you just tell it which section view group you were working with. All right, I just made those ones. I'll have it make a new sheet set, or you can add it to an existing sheet set. Just hit OK, and then boom, here's your new sheet set. And here's your new sheets. There we go. And you got your cross-section views all in there as well. Let's see. And so you can click on those, and then here they are in Paperspace. These are Paperspace sheets, all done and ready. Very cool stuff. Fully automated that process. And now you got a production ready, just a few minutes of your plan, profile, and cross-section sheets. Well done, everybody. Let me see. Get my PowerPoint back up here. It doesn't want to. It doesn't want to. There we go. All right. So we talked about automating the plan production. We talked about using some templates to automate that surface field data. Let's talk about clarity now that we have the sheet set, that we have the whole sheet and production plan set ready to go. Clarity is a web-based app that we have available for you here at IMAGINiT. And a really cool tool that we can take, we log in and we upload our files into it. And so whether you have Revit files, AutoCAD files, you have them all loaded here from your project. You can have this where you can manually put the files in, or you can have it monitor a location on the ACC cloud, Autodesk Construction Cloud. And so if you've been shared the Revit files or something, I know this is mostly a civil audience. I'm from the civil background too. And if we have a share from the Revit, if we have a Revit share, files shared, if we have Revit files shared with us from the architect in the ACC cloud, we can have our IMAGINiT Clarity app target that location, and it'll always be up to date looking at that Revit file. We can then use these tools here to automate the process of making PDFs, converting Revit files to drawing files. We have these ones here for, even if you're not doing anything Revit, it's huge. We can automate turning our AutoCAD, our Civil 3D files to PDFs, or transmitting them to the ACC if we have a BIM team that we're collaborating with other vendors and contractors, the architect, the other builders, and all of that. We can publish all of our stuff to the ACC cloud in an automated way that way. And all of these workflows, we can put them on a schedule, so they'll run daily or weekly or whatever, or we can run them manually. I'll run one right now manually. That's it. That's all it takes. We'll take all of our AutoCAD files and run them into a PDF. And then it's working in the background on the Clarity server. So it frees up your computer station, so you're not having to publish those PDFs, e-transmitting those things, any of those kind of things, and then uploading them to ACC. The whole process is automated. It's going to be done by the Clarity server, so it's not going to bog your users down. It's not going to bog you down personally. You'll see here's the current task that it's running up in the cloud on our server. I've already ran a few here this morning. You can take a look. And we can take a look at, these are the PDFs that got made. And they got published to the, delivered to the BIM 360, got published up into the cloud. We can take a look at what they look like. Here's some PDF. Take a look here, mostly architect drawings. So that one's just one of the viewports. Coming right up, it's downloading it. Let me get this one. There we go. Let me get that other one. That's the good one I want to see. There we go. And so these are just random tabs that are open in a drawing. And so it'll do a complete print of whatever layout tabs you have open in that drawing, and it'll print them to PDF. We can set these tasks to repeat and to be on timelines, and you can set them up to go daily, weekly. As you can see here we got a weekly at 5 p.m. on Wednesday. It gives a check print of all of the drawings, sends a PDF, and puts it. It can deliver it up into the cloud. It can deliver it to you, the PDF, in email, and all of those things. So way cool way to automate the process. If you got these drawings from other vendors, just to keep you up to date in the progress. If you're managing a team of designers and drafters, for you to automate, giving yourself a check plot, daily or weekly of their progress on their drawings. And you can also set it, which is really cool, if you want it only on the times when there is a change. That way you're not just getting a bunch of junk mail. It's just emailing you every day a copy and nothing's changed. We can set it to only if there was a change in those files as it emailing you. So really cool automated process to work through all of this stuff. Lastly, I wanted to talk about our IMAGINiT Forms Connected. One more sheet, there we go. And this is just a tool that we have mostly for the field, if we got any field people here. But what you can use it for anything you want to automate the process of anything you're doing on paper as far as filling out forms, or even if you're filling out PDFs versions of those forms. We can quickly, with this tool, we have an AI tool that will just look at that form and it will scan through it and turn it into in the app on your mobile device, where it's just a fillable form with your app on your device. So it's really cool. You can use that for job site visits, as well as, I'll show you what we got here real quick, just to click you through. And feel free to request a demo on this if it's something you're interested in. But we can take that data in the field, anything that you would be like, maybe a safety check if you're out in the field. Did you run through all your safety protocol, your time in, your time out, if you're putting together any work order, your site inspection, that kind of thing. You can work through and build custom forms for all of these kinds of things. And they're real quick and fillable here on your mobile device. And then it aggregates all of that data in whatever format that you want. You can take it out in Excel, CSV, of course, but also we have some integrated solutions to get it to land into where you need it to land on ACC and other cloud products that you're using to manage your production, your construction model. So really cool tools. And so you can automate your, got some fun things. You can take pictures in there. We have some cool location things coming to track that. And you can take any data, you build these out for however you need them for your field folks, whether it's safety things, time in, time out, and then you can make it output, customize however you want, a daily report, something like this. Or if it's just all aggregated data that you want into an Excel sheet or a database program, or just to land somewhere in the ACC, we can do it all. So that's what I have for you guys here today. Definitely reach out if that is something that is, if you got paper and you're, doing a lot of paper forms out in the field, definitely digitizing and automating that process, something we can help you with this tool. And that's what I got for you. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Some good production tools in Civil 3D, as well as, some of these tools that we have with Forms Connect and Clarity here at IMAGINiT.